Peace and blessings, y'all. It's Started by CKC with level 7 and the 7 principles. I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope you're doing what you need to do to move forward in your evolution. Personally, I'm a little tired. I'm working on my company all day. But I had this thought that I needed to release today before I lay to rest. So this is another segment of Sisters on Fire. And I do that. Let me throw this out there real quick. I do the whole Sisters on Fire statement, slogan, because it's time for the sisters to illuminate. It's time for the sisters' voices to be heard. It's time for her, for she. And that's a lot of what this talk is about right now. History. I want to talk about how important history is to the womb man and is not. So, okay. History is important to us because it led us back, in the race, so-called race that we're in, and the races and where we're headed to, or we're racing to. I'm not quite sure what that race is about, but in the race, we were ignorant. We lost a lot, and we can even say, like, so some people come from the realm of, the realm, the rule of the king, but the realm of slavery, and they come out of that talk. We come from slavery. Some of us in our bloodline know that we're indigenous to this land. I mean, we're the mother and fathers of civilization. First being the mother of civilization and birthed her sons. And we're the beginning of civilization. It doesn't matter where we were. All of this is about us. No matter how you got to America, Europe, Asia, 7 continents, no matter how you got there, North America, South America, no matter how you got to these places, you know that you still are of the bloodline. And as the ancient scrolls reveal, one of the ways that we know we got to the bloodline, when you read the stone tablets, one of the ways we know we got to the bloodline because of the hair. So even if you don't know anything about science and DNA and all this stuff, the kinky hair, the 9 ether hair. So, I'm not even gonna get into the beings that's mixed and all of that, but obviously that melanated gene is still prevalent in them. They and a lot of people say that the inner mixing right now with the races or the nationalities, the inner mixing. I'm not gonna indulge in that too much, but that whole inner mixing thing is how the Tamahu or European is putting his bloodline into us. Why don't we see the positive in that? One, why don't we see, with him mixing with us, our bloodline is steadily growing. So just like that child will have that DNA of the Caucasian, it will also have the DNA of us. And we say that their DNA and genetics is degenerate, and ours is not. Ours is dominant. So wouldn't our influence on those beings, once we activate the melanin in them, make them soldiers for our cause, opposed to the other way around? But I'm gonna leave that alone. But just history, like it's important if with our children, if I send my child to school, and I don't have physical children, but this is an example. If I send my child to school, I wouldn't want my child to learn necessarily about Toby, Kunta Kinte, and Roots, and that bullshit. You feel me? So what the conscious community has brought, Noble Drew Ali, Clarence 13X, we just keep going. Marcus Garvey, what they all brought to us was a history of ourselves and where we truly come from. Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, like I said, we can keep going, but they brought us a history of where we come from. That was important, especially for us, our evolution. Because if we'd have stayed in the mindset that we were in, we would have never recognized who we were. And we'd have continually devolved. But them bringing back Dr. Malachi Z. York, Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett, from them bringing back the knowledge of ourselves through history, then it allowed us to begin to evolve. It allowed the rise that's happening right now. And that's absolutely awesome. But Spirit is saying to me, or have said to me, is at this point, the most important study right now is science, not history. And the ancestors are saying this, that science is important. Because there's so many things you can prove through science or via science that you cannot prove in history. And the word history, a lot that we're finding out and that we're learning, we're going back, but a lot of it is still contaminated. And it's contaminated because it is his story still. You feel me? We're learning the truth that is truly a matriarch. It's truly the feminine essence or the feminine principle is the Godhead, right? So we're going through history. And no disrespect to the brothers, but that's all the brothers can bring us. You have to think about it like this. The brothers has been in the lead in our spirituality. The brothers has been on the forefront of of the nation's spirituality. And they're doing a damn good job, no matter how we criticize them, how we say they shouldn't do it this way or that way, and a whole lot of things I don't agree with what and how things are going on. But the reality is, they're doing their best. They're doing what they know to do. They're doing what their spirits are leading them to do. And we have to respect them for that. But it's all patriarchal. The history, the scholarship, it's all patriarchal. If it's not coming out of the science that the feminine principle completely, not partially, but completely is the Godhead, then it's patriarchal. And we have a lot of brothers again. I've said in other videos and other talks that you have brothers putting the sisters on the forefront, but then they're not putting them on the forefront. And then when they were God, when the black man was God, the black man was God. The white man, whatever man was God without an equal. Even in his system, even in his Trinity, there was three men: the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And we gave that to them, and that was okay. But now that she's coming up, we get the equality, we get the balance, male and female. Now it's male and female, but the truth of that is, she is male and female. She, S-he, okay? Female. She is the balance. She is the balance. She is the originator. She is the origin. You feel me? She is the beginning, and in the beginning, it was just her with the balance with herself. Just herself. And masculinity broke away from her. Masculinity is a mutation. Masculinity is a mutation. So, if masculinity is a mutation, masculinity broke away from her. Masculinity is a part of her. The Y chromosome is a broken X. I'm gonna have to show you this. Okay. The X chromosome is she. The male is the X Y chromosome. The Y is but a broken X. It's a stem broken off the X to make a Y in the first place. What's missing? What's missing is the womb. The womb is missing. So, if she is female and he is male, what's missing again from him is that stem. That's the womb, the physical womb, because he has a mental womb. That's the physical womb, right? So she, if you eliminate this stem, she is masculinity. Catch it. She is masculinity with a womb. She's complete. So she is female. That's science. She is female. She is the balance. Masculinity has to grow, or has to evolve back into femininity, because, okay, let's use the word homo. Homo means one. She's not, she's bi. She's a duality within herself. And I'm not sure what people are not getting, or the common sense that we're lacking, that we're not seeing that the Y is but a broken X, which means that she is female. She is she. She is mother, father, whole thing, the whole nine. It's always her on it. It's her on the inner father. Because he is a byproduct of her. Feel me? She is she. She's male and female. So she has been manipulated to think, you know, that she is one, the lesser of the two sexes, and only of one sex. And the question is with a lot of beings is, if she was God, then what happened? Okay, if we used to pray to these different deities, if we were had certain abilities in ancient Kemet, and what happened to that? The same shit happened. One, through programming, that she lost her ability. Even where, like in ancient Kemet, where it's teaching that it's something that Ptah wrote that talks about she should never be put in rulership. So we go on that patriarchal bullshit, and we fall into it. We comply with the patriarchal bullshit. This patriarchal, his story. And we comply with that. And I need to write this down. Hold on. Anyway, so we comply with that. And it's dumbed us down like everything else is dumbed us down in our culture down. But if you want the reality of things, what happened is she fell in love with her creation, he, and lost her connection with Yazi. She lost her connection with the source. She worshiped him opposed to, and that was a punishment. Not a punishment as in like you read the Bible, God punish you and kill his own and all this craziness. No. It was a punishment to herself. Because she lost her connection with the source, the universe itself. It's all science. I'm telling you, go to science. Just start studying science and nature. Science and nature. But this talk is for the womb man. Start studying science and nature. And then you'll have an understanding of what I'm talking about. So when she relinquished her control, is what she did. She relinquished her control when she fell out of grace with God, or she fell out of grace with nature and gave her worship to him. He in turn turned against her. And what happened when you turn against your mother? It's karma. It's not like God, a being. It's karma. Nations, all nations turned against us, and that's why we're in the predicament that we into. The true Eve story. I've said it. I'll say it again. The true Eve story. You fell from grace, sister, and that's why we're in the predicament that we're in. So the point is, his story is patriarchal. It's his story. It's not your story. No matter what the brothers do, And I appreciate them, but it's no matter what they can do, they cannot take us back into my story. They cannot take us back into the mysteries. The mysteries means my story. My as me being God. You have his story and my story. Who is mine? You have his story, history. And you have my story, the mysteries. It's so simple. It's right there. His story is patriarchal. My story is her story. The opposite of his story is her story, right? Sisters, let the brothers do what they're doing. Let them go into his story, because it is. All that shit is patriarchal. It's his story. It's history. It has nothing to do with you. I mean, because it's not going to bring you back into the full knowledge of who and what we are. Only being that can do that is the womb man. And the only way she can do that is to be who she was in the beginning. She never read a book. I'm not saying don't learn. I'm not saying don't learn. I'm saying you got to get out of history and religion controlling your life, controlling your spirituality, controlling your evolution, because you're never going to evolve. If you're truly interested in evolving, then you're going to have to go to the mysteries. And in order to get to the my stories, you're going to have to go within. You have to go to my story. Say it, my story. So when I say my story, I'm talking about mine. Because to other beings outside of the female, it is a mystery. But to the female, it's my story. And understand, sisters, that your story, the mysteries, aren't in books. I mean, you get some, you know, in Kabbalah. Oh, listen. What's it called? The Arvaic, or whatever, the Indian. All that's stolen. All that's stolen. You have the brothers, your sons, who stole your information and submitted your ass. And then you had nations to steal that information. So it constantly been dumbed down. The only way back is inside. Go to science and nature. Hug a goddamn tree. Take your shoes off. Take your shoes off. And plant yourself. Become the tree. Become a tree. Plant yourself. Because the brothers could do the same thing. And they could be some really powerful brothers out there. But they cannot do what you could do. Because no matter how powerful that shaman or that brother get with his feet planted in his soul and his locks sticking straight out like limbs and all this stuff, he don't have a womb. There's nothing that he's going to meditate to make him produce a womb. The womb is the celestial link back. That's what's important. The womb. Like where all these brothers, like you have the debates going on about womb man is God and womb man not God, and she can't be God because we God together and all of this. No, you can't. Because you don't have a womb. Not only because it's a tool for physical production of the machine called body. It's the celestial link. The only way you can ever be a true oracle is to have the womb. Because the womb itself is a portal, a vortex, a stargate. How do you think souls get here? Souls are coming through a vortex that comes from the womb. The heartbeat of the zygote inside of you, the baby. Once conception has been done, that it sends out a pulse. It emits a pulse. And the soul knows that it can come through now. There's nothing the man can do to do that. Anytime a spiritual being need to get here, they got to come through you. That's the difference. Like, let's wipe out everything else. Let's wipe out, well, she can't be God because of this, and we equal to this. It has to come through her. That's why it's called immaculate conception. It's pure conception. It has to come through her vessel. You feel me? You think your mother isn't God? Like, really? Because your father planted a seed and it takes two. You think she's not God? Let her decide if she wants to abort your ass or not. Let her decide if she wants to carry you or not. Because there's nothing that a man could do to stop her. Because it's happening within her. So even her state of mind makes impressions. Not the father's. That's not no equilibrium. Not the father's, but the mother's impressions make birthmarks. The mother's impression, everything she say and do, make impressions on that baby, on that new being coming in. So the point to this video is to go back into the mysteries, the your stories, the my stories. The my stories is the key to our people's evolution, not the his stories. They can debate that shit all day long. Look at them. Look at the debates. Because listen, you cannot debate the truth. When the truth is presented to you, there's nothing they're going to be able to do to debate the truth. But they can absolutely debate history and call it scholarship and all kinds of shit, but you cannot debate science and math. You feel me? In their history, but especially when beings are debating and they bring about science and math, you can't debate that. That's the mysteries. But sisters, you have to take the wombs into the mysteries. Go within. Go within. Again, simple rituals. Plant your feet into the soul. If you just start there and don't do anything else. And I can say all kind of things that I do and how I felt my way back. But you may have another path. This can't be that patriarchal thing where we have to tell each other what we should do. I could give you my rituals if you want them, or if you like to have them. I could loan you that. But how about just starting with yourself like I did? I mean, and then of course I'm gifted. I came to this planet with certain things. I came to this planet with certain messages. So that's just what it is. But plant your feet silent in the ground. And connect back with the negative energy, which is female. It's feminine energy, negative energy. Plant your feet back with the earth. You got these grounding, what they call it, being grounded and earthing. That actually go into the negative energy, which is feminine energy. Look into the language of electricity. To be negative energy is female energy. It's called. But ground yourself and speak to your source. Ground yourself. Close your eyes. Eliminate the light. You have to go back to the darkness. You are the essence of the darkness. So go back to the darkness. Your womb was triple darkness. Go at night. Go to the darkness. Don't go in the light. This is for the sisters. Don't go in the light. Not to say we don't need the light. It's just the light is just masculine energy, which you are. You are masculine energy and feminine energy. But go to the source. Go at night. Go when that light bulb in the sky has turned away from us, and plant yourself. Focus your womb called mind on your mind called womb. Focus there. Put your focus there. It's a portal. It's a stargate. It's a celestial link. Focus there and speak to the source and ask for the awakening. It's time for the mysteries. And once you start awakening, you're going to come out with, for you, information, for others, information that they're going to have to inform themselves with. It's going to blow people. They're not going to know what to do with it. They're going to call you crazy. But you're going to have to stand planted and stand firm in what you know to be true. You're going to have to stand firm in it and just rock off with it. And I hope you have a mate, or I don't like that word. Mate actually just means we use it all. But mate, the etymology of the word mate means somebody to eat meat with. But that you have a partner that's overstanding, and that'll be patient while you go through what you go through and rock off with you. Just got your back like we had their back. No matter what we were taught in all the different religions to be beat, because God said it, we did it. You feel me? To be submissive, God said it, we did it. Shut up, God said it, we did it. You cannot preach the word of God, God said it, we did it. The black man is God, God said it, we did it. Now it's time for behind every strong man. It's a strong woman. We did it. And we stayed in the back. The Amun, the true Amun, the true hidden one. The true hidden one is the feminine essence, presence. It's the true hidden one. Because everything we focus on is the light. The sun, daytime, the male being, that's the light. The force, everything we focus on. But when the nighttime comes, it's time to go to bed. We're not focusing on the night. We'll get up in the AM and look up at the sky and say, oh wow, it's going to be a beautiful day. The sun is out bright and the sky is blue. Da-da-da, it's going to be a nice day. Or wow, it's cloudy today. Everything we're talking about is in the light. But when it comes to the dark, we don't know nothing about it because we're in the bed resting, or we're paying it no mind when we going out clubbing. Because normally when you're riding through the night, you haul ass to be somewhere else because you're not focusing on the night. But that's where God is. It even told you that in your Qur'ans and your holy Biblios. It told you that God resided in the still of the night. But that's her. That's the Amun. But then you look up in the still of the night and you have millions of stars. Millions and billions, they say, and trillions and all this shit of stars in the sky, right? But none of them are out, and collectively, they do not outshine the darkness. Go outside in the darkness. And again, like in the other video, a lot of us live in the cities. So that's why I had to get out the city. We live in a city with all these street lights and that's blinding us. That's why they doing that and kicking out 800 megahertz in them boxes that they have. They want to keep you away from the darkness as much as they can. And the places where you can go that's dark, either you can't get there, they make it scary, or you can't afford it. You feel me? The places where you need to be. Okay, I'm here in Arizona. I'm here in Arizona. And I don't live in the city. And even the city is kind of dark, but they have some street lights in the city. But I'm going to show you. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what it look like outside right now. Okay, I'm outside. And I have my the sensor light on. Cut the sensor light off. This is what it looks like where I live at. Those little lights you see there cross the highway. It's a highway somewhere behind me. Not somewhere, but behind me. It's a business over there that has 3 lights on. But you've never seen the sky like you've seen like a western sky, like nowhere. You can hear the cars if you listen. You can hear the cars. So if you see lights right now, it'll be the cars that may come down this highway. I think this one coming now. But this is communing. This is attaching back to the darkness. I don't mean just when nighttime come. Okay, I'm gonna go back in. So, what I'm saying is, you have to go to the night. You have to go to the darkness. Like that dark. I'm telling you, like, when the moon isn't out here, there's no street lights up and down here. They actually have them, though, but they don't cut them on down here. Unless something's crazy is going on, they have the option, you know, to light up that area or something like that. But they don't mess with nature. Like, it's against the law down here to have even a highway signs higher than what is it? 20 feet, because it's so beautiful. You know, they'll block. It's against the law to block the skyline, so that they don't mess with nature too much. That's why these Native Americans are down here. They so highly spiritual. It's actually shocking though that when I came here, the people you expect to be spiritual, like the few sisters that's here with locks and the uncle and the dog on his shit, empty. They empty shells. But then you'll go to a Tamahu, a Caucasian person who got knowledge and talking about Anunnakis. It's blowing me. I'm trying to figure it all out right now, actually. But then you got Mexicans walking around with King Tut shirts on. I'm not joking about this. You got Mexicans walking around with King Tut. So I'll step to them like, what does that mean? You know what that means? You know, act real ignorant. You know what that mean? And they'll break the signs down. But then the sisters and brothers here don't know. They came here mostly because it's a military town, so they come in via the military base. So they here for 4 years and then they gone, or they came, you know what I mean, and then wind up staying. But they're empty shells. The other races, nationalities here, have more knowledge of self than my brothers and sisters do. Brilliant. My point, y'all, to the sisters, go to that. Go to that darkness and listen to this. I ain't gonna make it too long. It's important. Okay, because we go to the moon, but I'm learning some other things right now with science. That's what I'm saying. Study science is going to apply. Like doing the waning and waxing of the moon. And you'll find this in yourself once you just start studying. You'll find it in yourself. But doing the waning and waxing of the moon, because the moon is like unto the womb. It's a puller. It's a pull. The womb is a pull as in the penis is a push. So try to see the magnetics. We have magnets. You have a pull and a push. They come together like that. But then if you turn it around, they repel. That's the other side of the womb, because the womb is also a push. The female is also a push. You have solar plexus, masculine energy. So your masculine energy repels, and your feminine energy attracts. Right. So you have that push and that pull. So the moon is a puller as the sun is a pusher. The sun actually pushed energy into the womb. I mean, the earth itself is a relationship that is going on that I'm learning right now in science. It's a relationship that's going on where it's pulling energy. But like when you have a solar eclipse, that's not necessarily good for the womb man. And I'm learning this. But it's not necessarily good for the womb man, what I'm seeing, because the moon itself is supposedly be hollow, and it's full of metals. It's full of metals. So when the moon eclipses the sun and earth, it stops that flow that's going on. That conversation is stopping that interaction that's going on. Actually, so that's when it's like a freeze. You feel me? You got this flow going on, and then that moon eclipses, that eclipse of the moon happened. It's a stop. So that's not necessarily good for the womb. There's certain things you need to be doing, and we'll figure this out together if we have to. But I'm gonna come into it. My mind working solutions, but that you need to be grounded, like especially when it's eclipsing. You probably need to have your feet in the ground. So the magnetics and the energy and the grounding energy that's still here, you can connect to it that way, because it's gone until that eclipse is over. So those kind of things we have to remember. In order to remember, you have to go back into the mysteries. It's not in the books. You feel me? Like if you want to teach your children about his story, then just let them know their story, what happened to them, and that's okay. And what happened to us, and how, not necessarily bad, but just what happened. Like our story, who we were, but it's missing pages out of all the shit. And when you go in science and math, it's the truest, but it's not even complete, the ancestor said. The ancestor said that, told me personally to release myself from all religion, to remove myself from all religion, and to study science. They said because science is not absolute. It's not, everything is not correct about it, but that's what they have down here. That's the closest to the truth, is what was said to me. And since then, I mean, because I've come out of so many schools of thought, you feel me? I come out of my family traced, my uncle traced our family history. You can see that in my video, Daughter by Secrecy, and who is Daughter by Secrecy, and what is the 7 principles. He traced our history to Israel, so to speak, and we were descendants of the prophet Daniel. My family's last name is McDaniel, and the Irish put the Mick on our last name. He went and did the whole thing, and I was 3 years old at the time, and from then the entire family became Hebrews. So right now to this day, most of my family are rabbis. Some of them preachers, but a lot of them rabbis, even females in my family. So so my whole family became Hebrew, and my growing up was Hanukkah and Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and all this kind of stuff. I didn't really get into the language. My family speak the language and all of that. Hebraic language is not even really a language, but anyway, they do that. And then I went to Islam. I was Sunni Muslim for 3 years, full Khimar hijab. I prayed 5 times a day to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then that I learned more of that language, of the Arabic, on and on. And then Buddhism. I've been through a lot of different schools of thought. Like I said in another video, my mother calls me a wanderer, which led me to where I am. It led me to the source. But things that had been happening all through my life, very spiritual things, like phenomenal spiritual things, has been happening through my life. That's led me to where I am. So I lead with conviction. I lead with conviction. I don't care about none of that stuff about history. And when the ancestors tell me to leave history alone, I'm with them. You feel me? Because I've connected. So I trust them. I trust my spirit. I trust my spirit. The more I was obedient to the call, I was sent on a journey, but you can look at my video. It's 2 hours long, but it's who I am. I was on the East Coast, sent to the West Coast to get a stone, to get a rock, literally a rock. I've always been a rock collector, and I was sent to get a rock. What the hell am I going to find this rock? I'm going to get the full stories there, and I found it. I came and found it, and this in the vision they gave me this. I saw this on the rock. They projected the rock on the table, this rock on the table, and it looked like a big toenail to me. It's how I know when I saw the rock. And it's really, you wouldn't even believe the weight of this. It's like, if you think about geology, you can see that it's crystallized. So inside of that rock is extremely heavy. But just being obedient. So when I'm saying something, I'm not saying it from my opinion. If I say something that's from my opinion, I'll say it's just my opinion and what I'm putting together, what I'm feeling. But if I'm saying something that I'm concrete about from the ancestors, I'm taking it because I carry the rock. You feel me? I was sent to get the rock. I banged on this and woke the puppies up, but so I feel strong in my convictions when I'm coming out of my mysteries, when I'm coming out of my source, because I was obedient to the call. I feel strong in my convictions because I'm obedient to my spirit. Again, it's not gonna come to you. It's not going to come to you from no book. Do you think they're going to give it to you? Do you think they're going to open the halls of the Vatican up? You think they're going to open up the secrets of the Smithsonian? It's all about you. The war, the entire war on this realm meaning the rule of the king. The entire war is about you. You feel me? It's about suppressing the goddess, the God. It's about suppressing the God. And let's take the womb man out of the picture for a second. It's about suppressing God. The battle is about God. It's about God being male. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, that Trinity. And they talk about homosexuality. That's a bunch of faggot shit right there. But then the true essence is that light is the sun. My son, Mason, is the son of God. That light is the son of God. Why do you think they call you the Eastern Star? Check it. They call you the Eastern Star and they call him my son. Mason, an Easter star. Mason the builder, they say. That's what I mean, Mason building. My son. And then the Easter star. Because you are feminine and masculine energy. The Easter star, the brightest star in the sky, all this energy and control certain things. That's you. You are the Easter star. But they'll tell you the story of the Easter star is that these oracles or sisters supposed to come together and because the Easter star is going to come through her. The Messiah will come through her, Sister Trill. But the Messiah, or she will be the Messiah. One or the other. It's going to come through the black woman, or it's going to be the black woman. And it's going to come through her. So she's a protector of the Messiah, is what the whole Easter star thing is. No, you're the Easter star. That's why you're called the Easter star. But as long as you continue going into his story, you will never find my story. You will never find the mystery. The mystery. A mystery is a mystery because it can't fucking be found, goddammit. The mystery is in you. You are the mystery. You are the mystery. They don't understand it. They don't want to understand it. They want to completely eliminate you off this planet. Ride with your brothers, with your sons. This is what they are in essence. Ride with your sons. But to ride with your son don't mean don't come back into the essence of yourself. It is not equality. You, male and female, is not a balance. You are God. For what that word means, you are a manifestation of the source. When she decided to manifest herself in the physical, it was you. I've seen this. I've seen this. Go to my video, I'll explain it. Who was Daughter by Secrecy? It was the 7 principles. It's at the end of the video when I'm talking about visions and dreams. You are the manifestation of the source. He is the manifestation of you. Okay, both of you come from the source, but he is the manifestation of you. In my language, called the Biyazi. You are an Iyazi. The source itself is called Yazi. The source. Iyazi is one who sit from the source. Listen, even with that, now I'm going to shut it down. I created my own language. Why I create my own language? Along with me being led to do so, it's because I can. Where did language come from? It came from you, sister. Where did building come from? They say a woman cannot teach a man to be a man. Really? Who the fuck taught him in the first place how to be a goddamn man? Because in order to be a man, listen, check it. No, it's the other way around. A man can't teach a female how to be a female because he don't have a womb. He don't understand the process. But to flip that shit, you came from me. So, hear it. A nation is only as strong as its womb man. A man is on the planet to be a protector and provider of the woman. How would he know that? He know that because I taught him that. You taught him that. Your ancient ancestors taught him how to be a man. This is what I created you for. This is what I need you to do. How the fuck I can't teach you that? But then say, okay, it takes two because you'll guide the child up until a certain age and all this, but he go off with the men. Right. Doesn't that make sense? I'm perfect in my plans. I'm perfect in the shit I do. I already taught your ass. I don't have to do it again with every son that I have. I give them to you. That's the point. I'm not sure if this makes sense to people. That's the point. I gave them to you so you could do what I taught you. You didn't know how to build shit. I built it and taught you how to build it, honey. You didn't cultivate. I cultivated and taught you how to cultivate, honey. I gave life. I am God. I was the sustainer of life. I'm that omnipotent being that you're looking for. When I birthed you, you knew to come to me for sustenance. Outside of our religion, all talk, all philosophy, all scholarship, all whatever. When you exited the womb, where did you go for something to eat? To sustain your life because you didn't eat. You'd have died. have dropped straight off the hospital table when you start sucking on the floor. You'd have died. You already knew the connection I had with you to come to me, to suckle off my breast. Because I had everything in it that you needed to sustain life. Nothing your father could have did would have gave you life. They see, but you're not God. Then if I'm not, and it takes two, and I'm doing, it's just my job, then you handle it. Let the males handle it. Let the baby come out and give it to them, and let them see if the baby live. What they gonna do? How they gonna handle that? It's not even a thought before philosophy, scholarship, history, any of that. The baby comes out and suckles off of me, off the mother, off of God. That being that's omnipresent over your being, that being that have control over your life. Because I can decide to bring you here or decide not to. You will never come here, no matter what the father do. You will not be here if the mother doesn't allow it to happen in her universe. I'm going to shut it down. Sisters, you are the manifestation of the source I call Yazi. You are the manifestation of the source. Go to her. If you don't know what to do, then just go to her and ask. It's that simple. It's that easy. If you could pray to God, some male being, for hundreds of years, and still don't get no goddamn answers. And then the answers you get, you attribute it to a God, but not recognizing how much energy you putting out there. And I gotta say this. Okay, you have two Christians. On the same mission. This Christian's about to get put out of their home. And this Christian's about to get put out of their home. Both of them go to the same church. And they pray to the same God. This Christian get the money that it needs, get the house saved, da-da-da. This Christian wind up homeless and then lost everything. But they both paid tithes. They both paid for their salvation. They both prayed. They both walked pious. What the fuck is the problem? The problem is this Christian not even recognizing what he or she was doing was they had the faith of a mustard seed. And the faith of a mustard seed just means they manifested it. They were strong in their convictions for what they wanted for themselves, and they manifested that in their space, in their plane. This person didn't have the faith of a mustard seed. See, a lot, you know why a lot in the Bible tell you it's through your faith. It says it a couple times in the Bible. Through your faith, certain things happen. Through your faith. What does that mean? I mean, the power is in you. You pray into an apparition. You're praying to a ghost. And you walked away from nature and science. You walked because your image of your God in your mind, most of us, is not even healthy anyway. The image of God in your mind is some white man with a beard. Ain't that what your oppressor look like? Thought Advice Secrecy, level 7 and 7 principles. Y'all check out my website. It's still in, we're still getting it up, but you can check it out. I sell oils, incense, postcards. Postcards is my passion. And a lot of it, the postcards is going to be in the work I do. And in the talks that I have. So check them out. You can't, like I said, you can't buy anything right now. If you want, you go there and see something particular, a number's on there you can call. And most likely it'll be me who answer right now. So check it out. I love you. Let's support each other. Hear the message. Before we just decide to just say what's crazy because of what you don't know. Let's support each other. I'm going to put my information down below where you could go to my my Facebook pages, my website. Stay connected. I ask for your support. In doing what I'm doing. My sister, I work for myself. I can't even imagine going to work, and I have to be dying to go to work for somebody else, and y'all should be on the same thing. And real quick, sisters, we should be creating the economic systems, actually, on economics. But you have to get back into the truth of yourself first. You have to understand what economics is. You have to understand the exchange. Because the economics is the economics. It starts in nature. Once you start to understand the true exchange, then we can devise a plan and have the brothers implement the plan while we do what we do. This we created them for, while we're home, raising beings. You feel me? While we're connecting with the source and bringing information back to him when he get home is what we're supposed to be doing. So, or her, what we're supposed to be doing. I mean, like I say, some of us is for that cause, the heterosexual cause, and some of us not. I'm not. But I don't allow that, and what people say about that, to deter me from my spirit and how to bring information to my sisters and brothers. Is what I'm here to do. So just understand that I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Until next time, peace.